Hey, whippersnappers, this is Tortimer the Great. Welcome back to another exciting episode of Pokemon Showdown Little Cup Battles. Today we are going back to doing replays for a little bit. I'm not quite sure how I want to mix up the format. I asked last week because views have been down on Showdown stuff. I asked you guys, what's going on? Do you guys have any suggestions on things I can change? And the only feedback I got was from my good friend Scad, and Scad said that ever since I started going live, if you guys will remember, I took March off of Showdown stuff, and then when I came back in April, we were doing live battles because it had gotten to the point where, for one reason or another, I was having to take sometimes an hour to prepare an 8-minute Showdown video because I was having to go through all these battles just to get ones that were worth recording the replays of and commentating and this and this and that, and so I was like, I'm just going to do live battles, and for better or for worse, you guys are going to see the battles that we're doing, and that's what we're going to do. And so I've enjoyed that for the most part. We had started out doing live stuff when we began doing Showdown, and then we switched to replays because it was just so much easier. It was so much quicker because we weren't wasting 20 minutes doing one battle or something because of people being slow or whatever the reason. But we went back to live for a bit. People had been asking for it. But then the views really did drop off, and since that is the main feedback I got, that was kind of what I assumed, because for me, Showdown always was kind of like a 5-minute video, absolutely, I'll watch that, sort of thing, and then as they got longer with the live stuff, the views did drop off, so Scad voiced that, and so I think that that's fair, and so we're going to go back to replays for a bit, and we may switch it up, we're maybe Tuesdays will be replays, and Thursdays will be live, or I'm not really sure how it's going to work, because at a certain point, there is a reason I stopped doing replays, but we'll figure it out as we go along. This series, we're in the 160s, yeah, I think we're in the 160s now. It's a fluid medium here. We're gonna do the best we can. So, we'll play it by ear. But yeah, so we're using my Something Fishy team here, which is built around Corphish, and I'm really enjoying this team. There's definitely things that I need to tweak, but it's been a lot of fun. I anticipate the Sucker Punch there with Zoidberg. I decided to go for the Switcheroo to give them my choice item, and then I use the priority Aqua Jet there to take out the Zora. And then the Fletchling comes in and doesn't go for acrobatics or something, I guess. And they went down to Aqua Jet. So Zoidberg cleaning up for us there at the end. Let's check out another battle with this team, shall we? Alrighty. Alrighty, guys, welcome back to the second battle for today. We went up against Falucorv 243, and they started off pretty strong. So they let off with their Vulpix, and I don't know why I decided to leave Ferroseed in. I guess I was thinking, I don't know that anybody else wants to take a flamethrower from a Vulpix. So I tried for the Stealth Rocks and got killed there. So that didn't work out too great. Then Fumsy came in, and Fumsy was able to destroy the Sawaddle there. They kind of death foddered their Sawaddle in favor of their Bambi, their Deerling there. And Fumsy's then going to face off against the Torchic, whose Berry Juice activates just there, and is going to force Fumsy out. I bring in Depth Charge to take the hit there. Dip Charge is my other kind of defensive guy. So I throw up the Scald, which hits the Spoink. Again, I'm never getting any of the statuses I should be getting. That's really disappointing. Then Lol comes in, gets Tormented, and so I knock off the Spoink. But because I've been tormented, I also have a Choice Scarf on Lol, so I can't use anything but Struggle. So Lol then has to struggle the Chinchou. They use Soak to turn Lol into a Water type. Just as I get my knockoff off, and so then they Thunderbolt and kill Lol. I do have a bit of a water weakness on this team, or an electric weakness rather, because my specially defensive guy is a water flying type. So that's a bit of a challenge. Sylar goes through a couple of their teammates before going down to the Deerling. So it looks like that was probably the better move for them to save the Deerling and sacrifice the Swaddle. But Deerling's going to be able to take out Fumsy. I then bring in Zoidberg. Deerling doesn't have any kind of absorb thing on it, so at least for water, and so I'm able to kill it. At that point, though, I am afraid that Chinchou might have water absorb, and so I switch into Depth Charge. Depth Charge gets kind of death foddered there, but then at that point I realize Zoidberg is way too slow to actually make anything work. I would die to a Thunderbolt before I would make any other move work. So I just went for the Aqua Jet on the off chance that maybe Chinchou would be carrying Volt Absorb as opposed to Water Absorb, and I got lucky and Chinchou was carrying Water Absorb as opposed to Volt Absorb, so I was able to kill it. So we got a win there, so that works out very nicely. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this shorter episode here, and yeah. I've been Tortimer the Green. You guys have been great. Make sure to those likes, comments, and subscriptions for me, guys, and I'll see you all next time. Have a good one.